Generals, gentlemen.
Good evening, afternoon, whatever time of the day it is. We are in Company of Heroes 2, and we got a match between Devm, who, don't be mistaken, insane C++ is actually Devm. Also, probably very good at programming. Maybe he's currently designing a website.
You never know. Could be the new Nick because of that. He'll be facing off against Commentator Noggano. He'll be on the left. He's going to be playing as our OKW, and Devm will be playing as our US forces. We are, of course, on... This is Famenville, isn't it?
Yeah,
yes.
Fallschirmjägerville.
Fallschirmjägerville.
Yeah.
MG34-ville.
Yeah. Whatever you want to call it. We're a little bit sad today. I think I'll let you explain why we're sad. This is kind of your reign.
My area of
field.
expertise, I suppose. So we're drinking energy drinks that we don't really like that
they're
much.
kind of shit,
so
to be honest.
These are energy drinks, as some of you may know. The Mr. Machine here went over to Europe for a bit of a trip, a bit of a holiday. So he did actually send back some energy drinks during that period. As I do enjoy my energy drinks, we are liking some of them and not liking some other ones of them.
It was a lucky draw. There was only so many that I could actually try.
Yeah.
Unless I wanted to, put myself in harm's way of just dying of heart attack for having 12 drinks a day.
Quite. So, yeah, we're having a couple we're not too impressed in, but we are going to be impressed with this game, hopefully.
Well, I'm impressed with this segue.
Yeah, I love the segue.
Yeah.
So, Elite Rifleman going to be locked in here for Devm. Locked that in really early. Nothing from Commentator Noggano yet. Has been gone. Volsk. And another Volsk coming out here as well. So quite Volsk-heavy play.
Yeah, so getting this cutoff here, this is really brutal. Generally, as a left side, it's nice to hold something in the garrison because it's very hard to push through because there's actually a lot of heavy cover right opposite the cutoff, which has then also got negative cover through it. So losing that point can be very punishing to do. But at the same time, Noggano's actually taking the fuel point and the munitions point back from Devm.
We'll have to see if we can make sure they get those connected. And that's a pretty bad garrison from memory.
This one?
The one where they're fighting over on the right-hand side, not the one in the middle.
Oh, right.
That garrison has very few windows from memory. Like, if you actually have a look, it's like one there and there's like one on each side. It's really, really bad. From personal experience, you don't want to have squads in that garrison because you're losing a lot of DPS.
Yep. Unless it's like an LMG, then it's kind of okay, but something like like these squads doesn't really work out that well. Volks are moving in onto the side for a flank, and there's a rifleman squad moving up. Should be able to clear this one out. Echelon doing really nothing. Once again, one window, and that's one rear echelon rifle, which is pretty negligible.
Definitely is. Devm finally stopping these forward riflemen. Interesting movement here.
Yeah,
starting around the cover.
He really should have focused this squad quite a fair bit earlier.
And he didn't have to move the second rifleman squad over. He could have just focused it from there. He had the range for it.
Either way, Devm actually rotated his entire units, so he left the cutoff actually vacant.
And nothing in the garrison either.
Yeah, so easy capping there for Noggano, taking back his side. So he's doing okay for now. He's got 4 volts, and this is generally where you'll see the tier building go down.
He's looking pretty good at this stage. Devm just suffering from the issue of the fact that elite riflemen are fairly expensive in terms of manpower, so it could be tough to have a lot of squads out on the field early. Only having the 3 rifleman squads at the moment, should have another one coming up fairly shortly.
Well, he went freeze lieutenant, so he'll probably go for an M20.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
There isn't really much... I just looked at the fuel count. There isn't really much other reason why you would go a fast lieutenant, unless you maybe really want to rush out a 50 cal for that garrison. But the M20 is... I think it's still very viable against OKW, at least more so than Wehrmacht, because the 222 is such a strong counter now. OKW doesn't really have that unless they go for a quick Raketenwerfer. And that's going to be the Tier 1, Battle Group Headquarters. As M20, of course, following up.
Yep, following up from that lieutenant. Pretty bad engagement with Devm here. He's going to juke around the side there.
Yeah, those are always the tough decisions. Is do I stay on the point and get the decap, or do I try and win the engagement? Choosing to win it, he has the Echelon here to help him cap it out, and the Volks are flanking around the side.
Really wants to try and get the decap here, but he is, getting flagged. 3 squads of Volks, so just going to have to retreat from this one. Not having enough pressure, and he will just focus up the top now. M20 is going to be out on the field in just a second. So that's kind of the point where Devm really wants to be looking for these big engagements.
I gotta say, that was really nice movement from Noggano. He denied the cap, and then rather than just retreating when he was obviously outmatched, he kind of walked around the side and waited for the other 2 Volk squads. So it meant that not only did he win the engagement even more easily, but most importantly is he actually had the squad there for the capping power.
Definitely.
The more squads you can keep on the field, even if they're wounded and weak, you can just cap the points a lot quicker. So Rakenviffer coming out immediately after seeing this M20.
Nice response there from Commentator Noggano. Fair few garrisons on the map as well on Paymanville, which means you can have a bit of safety without Rakenviffer and cover a fair bit of ground as well. On open maps can be a little bit more difficult, and the M20 definitely has more maneuverability. Will be the first Shrek coming out here as well.
Yep, gets a shot from the garrison. Very, very safe though was the M20. Wasn't in much chance of actually getting shot up there. And we may see him actually put the echelon inside of it. Don't know if he can do it with 2. I assuming he can, but some vehicles you need 3 to capture it. Some you only need 2. That's a nade coming through from the Volks. Oh! He retreated through it. He actually wouldn't have lost that.
That was a well-placed nade for sure.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Nice ambush here with the lieutenant. Probably getting an extra model for neg cover. Not going for the cutoff instead. Yeah, if he actually stayed where he was, he probably wouldn't have lost it. You got to bear in mind when they are behind the heavy cover. Oh, those are US grenades as well coming through.
That was a good nade dodge. Gets straight back into garrison as well. So he gets another Shrek squad off the M20 and then retreats. That's nice. The lieutenant, has he walked far enough to get a retreat path yet? He's had to juke around because there was a Volk squad inside the center garrison. The M20's going to chase this down.
He might lose this.
Your Kingdom is set up though.
Yeah, he lost it. One more shot though will take down the M20. Nope, just kidding.
No.
I'm bad at maths. M20 actually survives this one, and with that Shrek down, that's very brutal for Noggano because he doesn't really have any more AT other than that Rakenviffer. A Fusilier has come out. The AT grenades are pretty lousy though against the fast-moving light vehicles. They have this bug. I mean, I think it's a bug where basically after a travel time of a second, the grenade just disappears.
Yeah.
Like, you know how normally with Panzerfaust and AT grenades you have like the FaZe Clan track around a hedge sort of thing? But not with the Fusiliers. They're pretty awful. When it comes to their AT, of course. But the 6-man squad, G43, is very, very powerful.
So, really unfortunate that Commentator Noggano actually did lose the Shrek squad there. That's pretty important. What he was actually trying to do there was he wanted to get the Shrek squad shot off, damage the M20, retreat the squad, and then bait the M20 into the Raketenwerfer, into a cloaked Raketenwerfer where 2 shots would have gone off and the M20 would have gone down. That was the plan, but the squad died a little bit too quickly. Nade for nade here in the middle.
Yeah, Flamer as well, clearing out the garrison. So Devm doesn't have a lot of munitions for more Flamers because of that one. Decruit the Raketen, the nade connects. And that's literally his only AT, so he can probably just chill here. Well, he actually recaptures the Raketen. He can strafe it though. Even with the damage engine, you get so close to it.
But the M20 can't stick around. The nade's going to come off cooldown eventually.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he'll just evacuate it. Gets the Raketen at least. Forces a retreat with Rifleman closing in.
Nice play.
Like, the one thing about Raketens is they are so easy to steal because they have the retreat. Whereas normally with a pack, you got to
walk it out of the danger zone.
Danger zone.
Danger zone. Thank you for getting my reference machine. Love your work. And loving this M20 as well. That was really nice play from Devm. So he gets a Raketenwerfer out of it. He's got to be happy about that. Has a fair few more Rifleman squads on the field now. Going for his second Flamer as well. Really committing to those Flamers, which is quite nice. They are good.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see a Jagdpanzer 4. Because I think he's going to have to at this stage. Losing his Shrek and his Raketen, he's really far behind an AT. And he can't deal with this M20 without it. And the Raketen is just too immobile for it to really hold multiple points on the map, getting pushed back quite thoroughly. Also, bear in mind, when you do have a nice infantry call-in, you don't need the Obers as much. He already has the Fusiliers, so it's not like he necessarily needs to have the Obers from his tier 4, so probably will just be a Jagdpanzer 4 at this stage.
We've seen them do really well on Paymanville. I think probably twice we've seen it get up to Vet 4, Vet 5 kind of an area. It's really nice playing around the middle because it's got a lot of range, it's got a lot. There's not a lot of shot blockers through the middle, and there's a massive road as well, which is great for the Jagdpanzer 4. Gives it a lot more maneuverability. So.
Yeah, I think it was helping Hans. We did a game of. He had double Jagdpanzers.
Yeah.
And this guy had like IS-2s and shit, but it just didn't even matter. So 11 kills on the M20. It's rocking. It's doing its job. Another Raketen's being built. And he actually does have the feel for the Jagdpanzer 4, so maybe he isn't going for it. Otherwise, he should probably just cancel the Raketen and build it instead, or maybe he'll go both. We'll have to see what he actually goes for in the end.
Devm's actually decided to go for his captain as well. Lieutenant into captain here, so no major coming out for him.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
That's interesting.
Maybe he just really wants a pack howitzer.
It's pretty great. I mean, it's not like he's behind. It's not like he really needs a tank at this point.
Yeah.
He's not in desperate need of anything to come out. He doesn't really need a Sherman. His inventory is doing absolutely fine at this point. There's really no danger from Commentator Noggano, so yeah.
And he already has a captured Raketen, so like even if
DOT.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes a captain can be nice if you don't have enough fuel for a Sherman, especially with the change to the major cost increase. And you really need AT, then get the Captain Bazookas plus an M1. This is actually just destroying the Fusiliers. At this close, the M20 gun is very powerful. And he's going to have to retreat through a Flamer Rifleman, so this is probably a bad idea. He's going for a repair critical, though. He's going to be able to use the... No, he didn't actually get it off in time!
Oh, he didn't get it.
I think that was just a regular repair rather than the repair critical. And the Bazooka's been captured. That's a great relief there from Noggano, especially with the Fusiliers escaping that one, so...
Yeah, the Lieutenant's trying to chase them down here, but I don't think the bar's going to be enough.
You get one of them, yeah.
Oh, got the back model. That's unfortunate. Yeah, has to retreat back from this one. Way too close to the base.
He's going for a Stuart, what?
Wow. See, that might have been okay if he didn't just lose... I mean, the Bazooka isn't a huge deal because it's going to miss 73% of the time, approximately. But I mean, there's a Raketen Bearer on the field as well. Yeah. I mean, it's bold. I mean, if he loses the Stuart, he's going to be in serious trouble because he went captain. Now he's gone Stuart. Huge fuel investment. He's so far off getting a major and then, you know, Sherman or a Jackson.
Well, for me, it's just why does he need the Stuart when he already has the infantry advantage? He has vetted squads and he has flamers. And he's versing Fusiliers without upgrades because Noggano's just been starved of his...
no munis.
Yeah, no munis. So there's no G43s, his Volks aren't vetted, so... Like, he doesn't really need the Stuart, where a lot of times you do need the Stuart when you're starting to fall behind, your opponent's getting LMGs, they're getting powerful squads like Obers or Fusiliers, or G43 Fusiliers, Fallschirmjäger. But in this situation, then, yeah, I don't really see why he needs it. He's just going to get forced off with the Raketen here. I mean, I think even in a pack house would be a better choice there. They're very cheap now, only costing a lot less manpower. I forget the exact number. I think it's 380 or 430, something like that. Either way, we'll be forcing the units off here.
On mass retreat coming out from Commentator Noggano, not really wanting to get that fight. Really well timed, I think, by Devm. Wait until the Panzerwerfer actually set up. Nice nade dodge. Gets back in the heavy cover now, but in range of rifle flamers, and those squads are starting to get low.
Yeah, the dodging the grenade, it takes up so much time that even if you don't actually get hit by it, you still take a lot of damage from the engagement by having to move out of cover, you're not firing for half a second. So those grenades are always very, very important, even if, you know, they're dodged. Same with Molotovs. They indirectly do more damage than what they would initially appear. Veteran Rifleman is being called in. Another squad of those. Getting the Flamer immediately. Actually can salvage the M20. Hasn't had the chance to destroy the wreckage. But he won't be able to salvage it underneath Lieutenant fire.
No. Stuart's going to be rotating over now. Raketen Bearer definitely not set up yet. Commentator Noggano really has been forced back into his base. And Stuart has been doing work.
Tier 4.
Panzer headquarters going down now for Commentator Noggano.
Yeah, this retreat path though is going to be pretty sucky, for lack of better word. But at the same time, there is 5 squads moving in, so they should really secure the retreat there. Actually got another Shrek rather than a G43, so really prioritizing the AT with the Stuart on the field.
Burning some of these shots though, the bazooka wasn't in range, and that's 3 shots so far that haven't even been aimed at the Stuart.
Yep, there we go.
There we go, there's another one.
Creighton moving up for a flank. This force is a little bit unfocused.
Stuart's really low now.
Oh, wow. He took another shot there, and he's getting a lot of veterancy. What that happens when infantry-based AT fires at vehicles. They definitely soak it up. Getting a 50 cal, I think, is a great choice with this many squads.
Yeah. One set MG. What he's having an issue with is kind of blobbing Volsks here. Because the Stuart isn't that great in that situation. That's White Phosphorus as well coming out. So it's just going to force the retreat. There's no follow-up, though.
Yeah.
I would almost have been not scared of the White Phosphorus. Just move to the side. It's dodgeable and there's no follow-up. You need follow-up damage. I mean, the rifle flame is there,
but still, it forces him off the map, and it means that he won't cap the fuel. So he didn't necessarily kill much with it, but it certainly got him off the map, which is always very advantageous to do.
Especially when he's still got all 3 BPs captured here. 316 BPs for Commentator Noggano, 455 now for Devm. So yeah, definitely see that working, and I do like to see a US Forces player who isn't afraid to spend munitions, especially when you're playing with elite riflemen. You don't have a lot of stuff to spend it on. You really don't, and throwing out those White Phosphoruses early, even to get some map control, is really nice. It's better to spend them than not spend them.
Yeah, it's at the stage now where all of his riflemen actually have flamers, so it's basically just going to be grenades, White Phosphoruses, and if he goes for the bars on his rear echelon, which I would love to see. Nade comes through from the Volks.
Nice dodge.
But I mean, he probably should just save those munitions for the G43s.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. And it's also about, will this, and we've been over this before, will this engagement actually gain me anything? Like, if I win this engagement, do I achieve anything off the back of it? And
yeah.
At the moment, I mean, yeah, he kind of forced off a rifleman squad, made them dodge, but he hasn't really gained a lot out of it yet.
Yeah, I think maybe he was hoping the squad would get wiped, but pretty ambitious. It's going to be the Raketin, but a little bit out of the arc, and even the shot blocker there anyway probably would have prevented it from firing through. Negative cover will result in bad stuff here for these riflemen. Well, the Flamer will, however, result in good things for the the riflemen. But it's simple numbers game. It's 12 against 5. Fusiliers arguably having more bullets than what the riflemen had. And a P4 on being built. Okay. I think that's quite smart because the Panther would have come way too late given how little territory he has. The P4, the anti-infantry is going to be valuable against this many Flamer squads. And of course it'll destroy the Stuart, no problems at all.
It's a good choice because, I mean, Jagdpanzer 4, yeah, deals with the Stuart, but so does the P4. P4 does it just as well, and you have anti-infantry capabilities as well, so... Oh!
What's his echelon?
Rear echelon.
But it means that if an Easy 8 comes out, then the P4 is going to have a little bit of a harder time.
Yeah.
But at least it has the armored skirts, so that the P4 has better armor than the regular Osthia P4 that we're used to.
Mage is actually done here for Devm as well.
Yeah. He's pretty close.
Yes, he's almost got the fuel.
He may even go for a regular Sherman, but I think once he sees the P4, he'll probably cancel it for a Easy 8 Sherman. Better choice against tanks. This Raket wasn't actually cloaked. You should probably just leave it cloaked if it's not doing anything rather than revealing its position. You know, they finally fixed the bug in the new patch that's coming out in like a week, where the prioritized vehicles no longer...
It doesn't bug out anymore.
Yeah, what happened is whenever you use an ability, whether it's this barrage or whatever, it would unactivate, and then you start firing at infantry, which is kind of annoying. Though he may get actually hit by 2 or even 3 rifleman grenades. The Raketin missed, damage engine. He's pretty far back though, so he should be fine with the Raketin as well.
Not a lot of follow-up here coming out from Devm, as much as he'd like there to be.
He has a Vet 2 Stimpo, which... Oh no, it's Vet 3. That's the rate of the repair speed, so... Okay. The repair speed on a Vet 3 Stimpo squad with the Minesweepers is actually ridiculous. Doesn't have the tier 2 though, so he won't quite have that fast repairs as well. The Raketin actually missed the P4. Wow, he wipes it. He can maybe destroy it with his Raketin, prevent it from being decrewed. 50 cal suppressing these Fusiliers on the left, and building a Oba squad. Certainly better than Fusiliers, but we'll need to get the LMG for them to be effective. And he's a little bit starved for munitions, but he can at least afford it. But once again, it will be depriving the Fusiliers of their juicy G43s. It's like the worst feeling, like being a G40, being a Fusilier squad,
and not having G43s.
Yeah, it's the worst.
You just feel like you could be so much more.
Yeah.
You're just being limited by the player.
Like when your Jackson is firing without HEVAP rounds, and you're like, man, if only I had an ability that allowed me to penetrate.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
And that is the Easy 8.
Okay, good choice.
I am pretty certain.
It is, yeah, longer barrel on the builds.
Yeah.
The build icon, the regular Shermans have a shorter barrel.
Yeah. Definitely 100% just checking the actual icon in the corner, which you can't see because our magical faces are there. Probably my face, I think. Your face on the left, generally. Mine's on the right. Anyway, that's the Stuart, and it's going to have the extra utility. Bear that in mind. It has the stun, the damage engine, so that can be used in synergy quite well with another tank. Especially if you get it Vet 3, the sight vision it has is quite nice.
Great, yeah. Stuart's and especially Jackson's working really well together because the Stuart can give the Jackson the sight range it wishes it had.
Yeah.
Keeping that alive is actually pretty important. So Devm doing a good job there. Has the Vet 2 as well, so we'll have that vehicle crew available to move if you'd like to, which probably you'd expect, maybe? Unless he does want the utility.
Yeah, even then, it gets a lot of extra accuracy and rate of fire at Vet 2, which is... It gives it a lot of extra anti-infantry, where that'll translate probably only into Vet 1. Because certain vehicles have different veterancy requirements, and a Vet 1 Sherman, doesn't really do that much. But, I don't know, we'll see. Vet 2 then is obviously quite nice, but there's no nades on the Lieutenant, otherwise that probably would have got a damaged engine with the Captain Bazookas. Easy 8's moving in now. Let's see if there's any shoe mines. I don't think there is. No.
I haven't seen any go down.
No shoe mines. This can be a great spot to mine here and here. Even here, of course.
Yeah, so, with that being said, Commentator Noggano really hasn't had a lot of time to be able to do that. He could be going for this one. The Easy 8 hasn't been revealed yet, you have to remember. He's trying to bait with the Captain. That's really good.
Yeah.
He wants to get the P4 to come up there, but I don't think it's going to happen. The Strombardi's actually repairing it. This is a really, really good bait. The Stuart's there. The Captain's there. The Easy 8's ready to go, and it's out of vision range. This is a super good bait.
Yeah, it's very important. When you have units, you want to keep them sort of to the edge of the capping circle. Because if a unit is directly inside a capping circle, it's actually visible. Like this we can see. Yeah. So when you have units like that ambushing, as we see the Easy 8's on the very edge, so it won't actually be revealed. P4 hasn't done too much yet. It's only got 4 kills. It's actually firing on this P4. I'm not too sure.
Stuart's actually going to be going for it though.
Yeah, he's going in.
Stun and taking it, and then he'll probably deal with the Panzerwerfer.
Yeah, but the Panzer headquarters firing on the Stuart. It's very, very weak. Gets the stun, but the Panzer headquarters forcing it away. Backing over the Raketten. Will he actually get the shot? No, he fires at the Sherman out of its arc. Stuart survives. Still chilling inside of this arc though. The Easy 8 not really where he should be. Maybe in a third shot will come through, but he will retreat. Gets the D crew with his Lieutenant's bar, so that's great play from there, and a nice preservation of the Stuart. It's very hard to keep this unit alive when you know, tanks get on the field. Not able to destroy it in time though.
No. Couldn't get the shots off, and now the Easy 8 will actually have to back out of there. P4's back and ready to rumble. Strombardi is wasting absolutely no time in repairing that one. Going pretty deep as well. Wants the wipe or? Ooh. Oh wow! Main gun destroyed.
That will force it to be repaired.
So looking at our points here, I mean, Commentator Noggano, he's getting really low. He's down to 70 points now. It's getting pretty dire. 3 VPs have been held by Devm for an extremely long time, an exceedingly long amount of time. He's on 451, really hasn't lost many at all. So it's looking pretty dire here, and Commentator Noggano really doesn't have a lot of fuel.
Yeah, the Stuart fired, and once again, escaping. No, just kidding. The Shrek gets the kill.
Shrek got it.
The Rakettenwerfer and the Shrek will finally spill the end of that Stuart. That's very important because then you can just kind of have one tank per VP. The Stuart at the north, Sherman at the bottom, and then you can't really push through those with a single squad. But now it's opened up the capping of these points. And look at the veterancy here. Vet 5 Volks, Vet 4 Fusiliers, even without the G43s. Still making an impact, and their late game is kind of crazy. Very, very accurate, a lot of sight range, a lot of damage, a lot of accuracy. And now the VPs are going to actually be in the favor of Noggano.
Yeah, for about the first time in a long time. Down to 45. Actually has a P2 coming out as well.
Wow.
Bold move, but I mean, he killed the Stuart. And that was crucial because, as you were saying, you can't split the Stuart up and the Easy 8 up then and try and hold just a couple of VPs. Really, you're kind of limited there. So, for the first time, Devm is actually going to be on the defensive. What can this P2 do?
Well, it can definitely secure the VPs, and it can force retreats incredibly easily. They're able to wipe Riflemen very, very easily. He has to be careful of the Easy 8. I think another P4 maybe have been a better choice, but with only 45 VPs, you can't always wait things out. You have to kind of play for the short term when it's only a couple of mistakes are away from you losing the game. So right now, for example, it's going to secure this VP. And that's exactly what he needs because it's back to 2 VPs capped for Devm. So he may wipe this Vet 3 rifle squad. The P4's on the chase as well. Not going the whole mile though. Didn't
Probably should have gone in.
Yeah, I was a little bit afraid of the Easy 8, but the P4 is able to tank some shots. I understand not chasing with the Panzer 2, but the Panzer 4 is definitely durable enough to go for those chases.
Ooh, Lieutenant got wiped there. Nade for nade. Panzer Fusiliers didn't dodge, but they didn't get wiped either.
They're behind cover.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But the Lieutenant does go down. Another infantry blow here for Devm. He's losing a fair bit and doesn't have a lot of manpower to reinforce these squads either.
This Ambo could get wiped by a Shrek or Bazooka accidentally. There's the Sherman getting hit by the P4, but bouncing that as well as the Shrek shot.
Second shot doesn't come out from that Panzerwerfer.
I think this is actually getting radio net off the ambulance.
Really?
I
That's
think
not
so.
a thing, is it? Does the Amber count as nearby allied armor?
Unless this icon stays up the entire time. Okay, it must stay up the entire time.
It's a fair way away now. So
Normally, it only shows the buff when it's active. Like tanks don't have the a command tank buff unless they're actually within the radius. So maybe it's just a permanent thing. Either way,
Devm really wants to close this game. He just capped the middle VP, but he might lose another Rifleman squad for it. Really not looking for the long term here. He got the cap down. Gonna mean another couple of VPs here, going for the bottom as well.
double Vet 5 Fusiliers. This is going to just destroy the Riflemen, especially with the Flamers. They can't really fight at long range. They have to get in close. Decrew the Rocket, and look at that long range accuracy, and he's just sniping off these Riflemen as they actually get reinforced.
So much bleed here.
But still, it's only 30 VPs, so Noggano definitely needs to deal with these VPs at the north and the south. The Obers are chilling at the field point. They probably can't fight the Riflemen with that little health, though.
Definitely not.
And the P4's going in. He may just wipe the Ambo and back out. Yeah, Ambo's taken out. That's very, very important.
Damage engine.
Yeah, that's going to rough spot. The Raketin and the Sherman bouncing off the shells. The Easy 8s have pretty good armor. He's going to lose this P4.
It's got to go down.
That Raketin's going to get it. Bounces the Easy 8. Your turn, man. Bounces as well.
Wow, he should go in for this one. Needs to get that last shot off. The Easy 8 isn't moving forward at all. There's no chase.
He's focusing the Volks, not on prioritized vehicle. P2 gets hit by the Raketin.
And
Shreks
now
are coming
goes in.
through.
That was mistimed.
This
That's
is bouncing.
Shot.
The P4 armor is insane. Misses on the Easy 8, going for the circle strafe. He's
Defense
outside
two.
of it. Rear armor will secure the kill. Gotta be careful of the Panzer headquarters on the rear armor. Nope, gets away on the road. Did P2 go down? No, P2 survived.
Yeah, P2's up. But a couple more, like another Rifleman squad, I think, went down there. Another squad
flamer.
went down. What? On the ground there. Okay.
There was a dead Rifleman flamer. So now you can actually capture that with these Fusiliers.
So,
and they have like permanent sprint, so it's kind of silly if they get flamer. Grenade coming through. Almost getting those.
Got the wipe.
Yeah. But meanwhile, at the bottom, only 17. It is actually neutral for now, but these Riflemen are going to have to retreat through 2 Volks. I don't think it's going to end well for them.
Devm wants to win this game so badly. That's dangerous, though. You can't throw away these veteran Rifleman squads. He's committing so hard to closing this game. 14 VPs, I mean, yeah, I guess he just doesn't want to play against that late game OKW, but...
So now there's 2 Vet 5 squads that have flamers. Like,
wow.
That's like the worst thing that can possibly happen.
They
have a Shrek and a flamer. It's like, oh, okay, cool. So what can I kill your Vet 5 squads with? Suppression?
Not much. So, look, Devm...
That's a 50 cal. Yep.
Yeah, salvaging that one. Nice job from Commentator Noggano down to 2 rifleman squads, a captain, a major, and a vehicle crew. That's all we've got.
Well, it's Sherman.
Well, the Sherman, which is the Sherman, yeah.
And it's a Vet 2 Sherman, so that's going to be pretty powerful. He can afford another Sherman as well, but at the same time, Noggano builds another P4. Maybe at this stage he should go for a Panther, given that he there isn't as many squads, but once again, that'll probably result in him losing VPs.
Yeah.
Which is something that you have to be very cautious of when you literally have 11 VPs left.
Regular Sherman going to be coming out here as well.
Okay.
We're losing a capture point.
He could actually use this, no, I was going to say supervised, but he's actually capping the point, so not an option. Has to be in the base for the supervised to really work.
Nice dodge.
That's the easy 8.
The easy 8 shows up, and this VP is actually going to be capped here, but at the same time, he lost the top one. Devm lost the top one. If he actually managed to cap the bottom, he probably would have closed the game out. That would have been enough time. Commentator Noggano sees this, and he does send a squad up the top there to grab the VP.
Yeah.
See, it might have worked if the easy 8 went to the top.
Yeah, use the vehicle crew. But Devm's running out of options. He's going to have 2 Shermans, though, so he can probably just force the north and the bottom. Unless the P4 is waiting for them.
Such a huge infantry advantage on the side of Commentator Noggano. If he actually... And if he spreads out and he actually take out one of these tanks, if one of the Shermans goes down, Commentator Noggano's going to be... Devm's going to be in some pretty serious trouble, so... I don't know, this game could really go either way. Shrek will get into the garrison there.
It's a good choice. Because when you're in a garrison, the AoE isn't going to get a wipe. There's no chance for the Easy 8 to just one-shot the squad. The P4 is up the north here. The Shreks are bouncing.
The Major's actually going to be capping points here. Really getting in the front line.
The problem with doing that, though, is the Major costs 40...
Oh!
It's 40 manpower to reinforce a Major. It's kind of ridiculous.
How much is it to rebuild one machine, which is more prudent at the
160.
moment? So yeah, there you go.
I mean, it's a 3-man squad, to be fair, but considering the squad actually does nothing, it's kind of pointless reinforcing.
Hey, you forget Major Recon, my friend. Pretty great.
And decoy.
Yeah,
you use
quite.
decoy smoke, and
Yeah.
people think you're using actual arty strike,
barrage.
like
Yeah.
white phosphorus.
And then they retreat.
Because they won't bother retreating if it's a major arty, because that
Yeah.
thing's absolutely terrible. Please buff major arty, please.
Please. Thank you, right.
Never in a video game has such an awful thing existed as Major Barrage. Like, it has a 5-second delay, it drops like 3 shells, they scatter horribly, they do like 0 damage. Like, I've had one directly land on a pack and it killed like 2 models, but it didn't actually kill the pack.
Really?
Like, it's such a bad ability.
Unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know what more there is to say at this point. There's another Sherman coming out here for Devm. Wow, so he's got the fuel.
You can even afford another one.
Yeah, he can. So that might be the way to play this one. I came out of infantry. Let's build some more Shermans. See what.
He's actually on
here.
AP ammo. Yeah, AP. He's not actually using HE. Well, either way, the AP ammo is actually like not that bad, especially with the 50 cal. And that's definitely what he can do is just try and have the tanks, because when you're versing Vet 5 squads with flamers and obers, you just can't win infantry engagements. So building literally 3 Shermans is really, you know, a good option, as well as M8s. But then the P4 is a bit of a problem.
It is.
It'll kill in
Those
2
armor
shots.
skirts.
Yep. So I don't know. It's really up to Devm. Can he make a decisive play? He doesn't have enough munitions for a white phosphorus, which would be a bit of a game changer if used at the right time.
The enemy is overrunning.
And he might have been. It's going to be hard for him to save up to it as well, because he doesn't have a muni point.
Yeah, and he's getting all his pintles, which is very important.
It is, definitely. I think that's the thing. He doesn't have to hold 2 points for very long. 11 VPs is not a lot of time. And the White Forest, as you were saying, could be a massive game changer. Really wants this garrison.
Sherman firing at the P4 with the HE ammo, as we are seeing it bounce. He's going, in! What?
What? That must have been a miss micro.
Yeah, he's going to lose his one to one more
It's
P4
going to go down.
shot.
Abandoned. That's lucky. It's pretty safe.
He probably just didn't realize he was actually on HE. Wanted to wipe the Stumpires.
P4 should, yeah, the P4's going to destroy it, or I'll even go for the easy 8.
Yeah, or cap it.
Yeah. Bounces off the shell.
He should actually just cap it with his Fusiliers.
Yeah, I don't know, with the easy 8 right there, though, it could be kind of dangerous. People could go in for this one.
Vet 3.
Backs away in time.
It's a nice time to be an easy 8.
Oh! That's a Sherman shot and a half.
Yeah, gets the wipe on retreat. Wasn't behind the sandbags. The P4 is probably going to rotate up north, though. He can cap it with the vehicle group. That's exactly what he's doing whilst repairing. P2's chilling in the middle. You can't cap this point underneath a P2.
Infantry's going to be useless in that case. And yet another Sherman coming out here from Devm. With that being said, it might be his last one for a while. He doesn't have a lot of fuel at the moment.
Yeah, that's true. He's kind of exhausted his bank of fuel.
So we'll be, again, 2 Shermans and an easy 8. Yeah, that last one must have been a misstriker there. I can't see him, unless he was like focusing the infantry squad, like focusing the bulks, and then they just chased.
But it was firing at the P4.
It was, yeah.
And it was clearly the HE ammo. He's got his North VP now.
Sherman has been repaired as well on a Vet 3 easy 8.
But he's trying to charge through the flamers. Oh, this Raketan's going to get taken out here. No problems at all. We'll get one shot off though. And here comes the P4.
Another rifleman squad goes down.
You can actually use the nades on this easy 8 here.
Devm is literally down to 1 infantry squad, and it's almost dead.
There's another Sherman. That's on the HE.
Bounces another shot on the P4. P4 not going to do likewise. Is that Sherman still on HE?
Yep. Still on
No,
HE.
it's still on HE.
It's still on HE.
That's not good.
And at the north here, lost it to the
Oh,
Shreks.
the Shrek's moving in there.
There was the sandbags are offering heavy cover, means the Shermans just weren't very effective. He's trying to
The Sherman's not moving.
He's trying to kite out this one. Manga destroyed.
He's getting another Shrek squad off.
Yeah, you can just evacuate it maybe. Yep, maybe just capture the point. Try and repair it.
Yeah, 50 cal. Nice. Oh, 50 cal does it in time. Good play, Devm. He keeps the Sherman alive, and maybe his hopes in this game. I don't know if he can do it. There's literally 2. There's 1 infantry squad left. He has 1 infantry squad.
He can call in a rifleman squad, but yeah, I don't know. M8.
It's just, this is what happens when you try and commit everything to close out the game.
Yeah.
If you lose too many squads, you put yourself in a position where it's just impossible to win. And
here comes the P2.
That's got to be the game.
Nice reaction though. He's got this rear armor exposed, so taking a bit of damage even from the Panzer II. Mangun destroyed still.
It's not going to do anything.
Even then he was on HE, so wouldn't have contributed much. Apart from just being a damage absorber for the Panzer IV.
Shot for shot here.
Maybe he should
just
repair the Easy 8 with his other Sherman.
Pretty sure. The other Sherman's kind of useless.
Because that Vet 3 Easy 8's going to have great accuracy and rate of fire.
They're boxed in though. Everything's going to be collapsing down here. Here come the Shrek squad. The Shrek platoon. The army of Shreks. And they're going to be taking out the Sherman for sure.
He's going to try and just drive away, I think.
Not going to happen. Another Shrek squad's going to go off. There we go. Wow. Doesn't go down.
Yep. He gets
survives. That's fortunate. And is this an M8 Howitz? Yeah, it is. Okay. The M8's going to be coming out as well.
And that squad is almost getting wiped here. Very, very risky, but even if he loses it, it's worth it. If this tank dies, so worth it.
Definitely. This bolt squad isn't going to die, I don't think. Oh, that's another bounce, though. Smokes it off.
Not a chance here for these riflemen.
Definitely not against those overs.
Oh.
Oh, the Shrek squad! Oh! The Superman shot.
He got it.
The M8 go...
the Easy 8.
The Easy 8 was the word I was looking for there. It does go down. And we're down to this M8A1 howitzer mortar carriage to try and close the game out. Poor Devm. I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
Well, it was close, though.
It was close.
Because he would have had this point now with the vehicle crew, and if he held out for just a little bit longer. But I agree. He got it maybe a little bit too grid trying to close it. And when you have 300 VPs, you can kind of wait until you're a bit more pop
he had like 400. He had 400 VPs, I think, at the time he started to throw squads away. Yeah. Assuming he was low. If he was at 230 VPs and made the same call that he made 10 minutes ago, I probably wouldn't have blamed him for it. People's going to come up, going to clean up this crew probably, and that's carriage as well. We're just going to cap it, actually. No, I'm just going to kill it. Nice move. If he made the same decision when he was on 220 VPs, I could understand it. But he didn't have 220 VPs. He had 400. He had so much time to play with. And instead of, you know, looking for outplays, looking for squad wipes, looking to do something with his tanks, he just threw away all his vetted infantry. All the riflemen, all the lieutenant, everything got thrown away, which means you have no late game. Your late game just completely disappears, and you can't do anything with those 400 VPs anymore.
Yeah, I agree. And it's very, very hard to play the late game against OKW, though, when they all have Vet 5, and you just can't deal with that infantry advantage, because, you know, they're just simply better in every regard. But, you know, you have enough tanks that you can kind of just hold the VPs, if you get enough of them and kind of play around. But I also think the Stuart was a horrible choice. Because if he didn't go Stuart, he would have been able to go for an easy 8, so the P4, like, really soon. The P4 wouldn't have come out in time. And the Stuart did okay, but I think the whole Captain Tech was kind of pointless. It didn't really do much apart from just delay. It's only 60 fuel, I guess, but plus the Stuart, it delays the Easy 8 by quite a long time. But either way, it was well played in the early game by Devm, but he just kind of lost his advantage towards the late game. And Noggano, he played well. The P4s were a great choice, and he's used them. Oh god, the HE.
This is like the moment when I had my ISU on the wrong ammo, when they changed the ammo, where it went from only having like one shell choice to having the two, having the AP and the HE. And I was just so confused as to why my ISU wasn't killing any infantry squads. I didn't understand, because it was on AP the entire time. Yeah. This is the situation that...
But that's the second P4, so like he just wasn't expecting there to be another P4 at the bottom. He kind of just would have expected to only see infantry. But either way, with 2 P4s, I do love this new unit now. It opens up a little more options for OKW.
It does, yeah, it's a good choice.
That's relic. That's gonna be it, really. Like, I don't really see what
I'd say you can come
Devm
back.
can do. I mean, there's a P2 in the middle, there's a P4 at the north, there's a P4 at the south. It's like, well, which one do you choose? How would you like to lose? To which vehicle would you like to feed veterancy?
It's really up to you.
I mean, he can maybe get this point here, but he won't be able to hold it.
You won't be able to get 2. There's no way he gets 2. He barely has enough squads to cap 2 points. I mean, that requires 2 infantry squads, which...
Okay, he has 2.
Crews.
And an MG.
Yeah. Too much stuff here in the end here for Commentator Noggano. He's kept too much stuff alive, and this is where unit preservation really does play into the game. Not much that Devm can do from this point.
Hey, M1.
Hey.
And he's on AP ammo, but he missed. M1's doing okay.
Second P4's rotated down to the bottom, though. He might just go for the Sherman.
Yeah, and this one won't have the Easy 8's armor, so it will die pretty easily.
There's the main gun destroyed and the veteran C3 for the P4. Rear armor gets faced. Ha! Devm. Good play.
Did you like how the shell visibly hit the rear of the tank?
I did.
And the gun flew off?
I like that machine. Devm there, admitting defeat a little bit and driving the Sherman's rear armor into the P4. Sees what's going to go on. So, close game in the end. It's just Devm couldn't quite close it during that period when he threw away a few squads. So.
Yeah, the turning point really was when he lost like 2 squads and gave him 2 flamers. I actually dropped Shrek.
Hey, it's only a game-winning moment, but maybe not in this situation.
We're getting the hell beat out of us.
Go for it, Rifleman. Hey, there we go.
See, normally you don't drop Shreks unless the squad actually dies, but because he has a bazooka, it meant he could drop the Shrek. So that's interesting. Whereas, like, P-Grins will drop their Shreks without actually dying, like the squad.
Yeah. Another Sherman coming out here for Devm. Probably his last one. Down to 56 VPs now. Doesn't have a lot to play with. P4's going to shred through what remains of the infantry.
More so the Fusiliers.
They're doing work. They finally got the G43s they've been after the entire game, so... Goodbye, MG.
And that's it.
That's the game.
Not even a GG call, but... Yeah.
We've summed it up pretty well over the last 5 minutes of impending doom for Devm. So, yeah, not a bad game. It's just Devm couldn't quite close that one out, so... GG nonetheless, and congratulations to Commentator Noggano on a well-played game.